The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we want to thank you for getting up bright and early with us on this Friday morning. Jack, it's the end of the week. The weekend is here. How are you feeling?
It feels good, like to know that you've made it to the end of the tunnel.
Quite literally, like I am definitely grateful that today is Friday. It was a little struggle getting out of bed this morning, not going to lie.
Oh my God, me too.
Kindred spirits once again. But yeah, other than that, like I too am excited that it's Friday, definitely ready for the weekend to kind of relax, enjoy some much needed time off and all of that good jazz. So, but as y'all can see, Jackie and I, as always, are ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you share today's episode, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Someone else in your circle would appreciate this story and this conversation, because for our feel good topic of the day, we're actually going to be talking with business owner Arin Weller of Sacred Bermuda. If you need some last minute gift ideas, she is going to possibly be sharing some with you. So for those of you that might need to make that last minute run today into next week, Arin's going to have your back. So make sure you stick around for that conversation and to engage with our guests. If you want to laugh to get your morning started, as always, make sure you stick around for our feel good vibe of the day, which is Showtime with Jackie. Now, to get you warmed up for today's show, we were actually going to talk about the fact that Essence put up a post recently that looked like there was going to be a Girlfriends season reboot. I know they've mentioned possibly doing a movie to kind of close out their season because it kind of ended abruptly. It didn't really get an end. So for our question of the morning, we wanted to ask you, what are some TV sitcoms that you would like to see rebooted? Because I know sometimes we talk about sequels not really doing the original any justice, but there are some that, could possibly just kind of continue on this story. I see the Sex and the City have like a little series reboot going on right now. I don't know if people are into that series, but let's talk about some sitcoms that we would love to see kind of come back, even if it's just for like a mini series.
Well, talking about Sex and the City, I watched it.
The reboot or the original?
The reboot. Well, I watched the original back in the day, right?
Right.
My sister actually had the all the series, like the gift box series, whatever you want to call it. So we used to watch that. I used to jump in bed with her. That's all she used to watch. So
right.
I became a huge fan of it. So when they had the reboot, I was super excited, and I'm still excited. It's just like, brace yourselves.
Okay. No spoiler alerts. Okay, so is it what you would have expected it to be as a reboot, or did they kind of like intrigue
yes and no? So I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I know they released some more of I think it was yesterday. I think 2 more came out, or at least 1 more came out. I haven't got a chance to actually sit and fully watch it, but it's
brace yourself. Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's definitely good. The comedy's still there. It's all the same characters. So obviously, if you've gotten a little snippet of what it could be, you see that there's new characters and stuff. But it's very much up to the times, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's relevant. So it's not like it's like what's done in a time when we've kind of passed, or it's like too future tense that we haven't experienced.
and then one episode they bring up COVID.
Okay.
So like they're talking and they just like it just slowly comes up. It's just like, well, you know, the pandemic or something like that. But I know it's crazy, but I want to see like maybe a reboot of Martin.
Okay, a lot of people would love that. And I wanted to say good morning to you, Karen Edward Simmons. Thank you for joining us. Let us know what TV sitcoms you would love to see rebooted. So Jackie actually has already seen the Sex and the City reboot, not entirely, but she's seen some of it. And are you recommending that folks watch it if they are into that particular series?
Yes.
Okay, so she is recommending that you check it out. And so we're actually going to talk about Martin now, because that is a really popular series for people to watch now, like over and over and over again. Whereas people will be able to recite like the lines. They know exactly where the line's coming from. When you see the memes, they know exactly what episode that meme is from. So they have like the whole story. And it looks like Sherry agrees with you on that one. Like Martin would be a super a dope reboot. And she said it's her favorite. And so what are some of the things about that particular series that, you know, makes you want it to be a reboot? Like,
it was happy. Like obviously they had their moments where
you talked about serious things.
Real. Yeah, exactly. Where you talk about serious things and serious matters. But it was just, he has so much talent. So he was playing so many different characters, and his extraness is just hilarious. Like I have friends that remind me that they remind me of Martin and how they act, like, you know, so extra. And, you know, it's just putting on a show, but it's just so free and funny. And I like to laugh. So if it's easy to watch and easy to stay into, I'm all for it. He's one of the great comedians to me.
I totally agree. And so Janae actually says there was a series on Netflix called Lee Daniels' Star. I thought it was such a good show, and they canceled it after 3 seasons. Bring it back. So she's asking for Netflix to bring that series back. I haven't watched that yet. So
I'm going to see which one it is, because I'm watching a show called Star. Is it with Ryan, the girl Ryan? That's also, what is her last name? And then it has Quincy.
I don't know. While you think about that,
what's P. Diddy's son? I think it's Quincy, his son.
Oh girl, I don't know. All I know is King Kim's, only because I listened to a song by King Kim's, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Queen Latifah's in it. Anyway, I'm out here watching it now, and if that is it, I would like a reboot of that if it stopped.
She gave you a spoiler alert.
I'm about to hit season 3, and I've been binging because I can only get it out here on Hulu. I wasn't able to get it back home. It wasn't accessible, so I'm back out here, and I'm just trying to catch it, like watch it as possible.
Well, if you do finish it up, we'll find out next week if that was the same series or not. So definitely. And so speaking of that, Quincy is Puffy's stepson. So yes,
stepson. I'm like,
yes, that's the one. So you are watching the series, so it will be going after you finish season 3. So switching back to talking about Martin, so she also goes on to say, yes, we want to know what happened with Martin and Gina. Sucks that they had real life problems. And I think that, that's kind of why
I thought they overcame that, because when Kevin Hart had Husbands of LA, I know they were both on it. Is it Real Husbands of LA? Like, it was
Hollywood, Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood, yeah. I thought they got past all of that. My bad. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And that's usually kind of what happens. Because even so, like this comment by Jason Shirley, he says Fresh Prince, but wouldn't be the same without Uncle Phil. Yes, him passing, but then also like when they did their like anniversary kind of reunion series, like, and they had that moment with the original Aunt Phil, like that is probably another reason why we didn't have a reboot for that particular series.
And I was just like, Uncle Phil is just not replaceable. So they have to actually do a catch up where they
he's passed since the series has been.
So they have they fake the funeral and then they go about the day.
Yeah,
God, that'd be hard. I'd absolutely cry.
It would be, and that was such a good show that it brings not only nostalgia, but it was another feel good show. And like Martin, they did have topics that were very serious, but they were able to kind of bring it into the conversation and not make it feel so heavy. So it would be interesting to see how, if they did do a reboot of that, how they would actually write that in because she would have to kill off Uncle Phil. And so going back to Martin, Sherry says, "Oh my God, I said Jerem in the house."
Yes.
Love that. So coming back, Janae has some more TV sitcoms that she would want rebooted. She said Fresh Prince would have to do a spin-off with Will Carlton and their kids, their new generation. I think that would be a good way to do, so that you don't necessarily have to focus too much on the story of Uncle Phil, because that would be like a sore moment for everyone, because it was like a family for them, right? So that would be actually a really good way to do it, to just spin off and catch up with the kids and see what happened in their life. And to round it out, Kelly Smith says the Bernie Mac show and Seinfeld. I loved the Bernie Mac show.
Well, how are we going to do the Bernie Mac show?
I mean,
there's no Bernie Mac. Like, who's going to be our narrator? Like, that was my boy. I looked forward to him sitting on his dad chair and, talking about these kids.
And he always has something to say about them kids. He always has something to say. Honestly, all of these shows, I would love to see some type of a mini series or some type of update, because they did kind of give us some real good feel good television without straying away too far from things that affect our community. I feel like they always did make a way
or maybe like Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh yeah, Everybody Hates Chris was another good one.
He should be like grown up now and have his own little family or whatever.
Yeah, because that was like the mid 2000s at the very least. If he's not just getting out of college, he should be at least at his fresh job. Maybe
probably
he's at his own
counting deals. His dad was so cheap.
Counting his pennies, counting his cents. That cost 86 cents.
Turning into his daddy.
Absolutely. On that note, Jacky and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to bring in our guest of the day, which is Arin Weller of Sacred Bermuda. So if you are like Jacky and looking for some last minute gift ideas, Miss Arin is going to help you with that, hopefully. And we're going to find out some more about her business, Sacred Bermuda. So make sure you do not get anywhere. Jacky and I will be right back.
Looking for that fine dining experience? Then Aliana's is the place for you. And it's lobster season in Burmese. So ladies, get your girls together for a ladies' night out. Book a table of 4 and each of you will get a 10% discount on your half or whole lobster main course. Starters not included. This lobster special is on until Saturday, December 18th. Serving dinner from 6 p.m. Thursday through Sundays. And of course, we have all your favorites, complemented with our specialty drinks and wine list, followed by our scrumptious homemade desserts. Aliana's Fine Dining Restaurant, 106 Southside St. David's. Phone 777-0555 for reservations. For those special occasions, there's Aliana's.
And welcome back to this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. And if you're just joining us, please take a minute to share this episode wherever you are watching, because for our Feel Good topic of the day, we are discussing some last minute gift ideas with small business owner Arin Weller of Sacred Bermuda. And we want y'all to help us welcome Arin to Good Day Bermuda today by dropping your favorite good morning emoji, whether that's the sun, whether it's a heart. Let Arin know that you're excited to see her this morning as much as Jacky and I are. Good morning to you, Arin.
Hey guys. Hi ladies. How are you?
Good.
We are well. So we want to ask you, before we actually get into the conversation, what would be a TV sitcom you would want to see rebooted?
Oh my goodness. Definitely Seinfeld. I'm trying to think of one of my Nick shows. I was a true Nick fan back in the day. Oh, that. Remember, I don't know if you guys are you guys my age? Honestly, I worked and even when, and I don't know if this is aging myself as well, but when I was younger, after school, it used to be like a couple of shows that used to come on. Is it like Electric Company? I think it was Dragnet. I know I'm aging myself, but they were like so awesome. I used to love just watching those after school, and yeah, you get all into the story. I tease my son now and tell him we didn't have as much as you did, but yeah, it's so many. I can't even pick one, but I love the ones that you guys picked as well. Yeah.
That is awesome. Actually, I don't remember this particular shows, but I do remember all that, and I do remember coming home and just like having a slew of shows to just watch after school. So I could definitely relate to that for sure.
Yes.
And so, Arin, to start off this conversation, can you share with us the Sacred Bermuda story and what inspired you to start this business?
Wow, so it's a lot, but first of all, thanks for having me. It's so nice to see you guys. So Sacred was cultivated around 2017, and basically a couple years before that, I just had went through a stage which I think we all go through of just not feeling like I was progressing. Felt just unmotivated. I felt like, okay, I knew it was something more that I needed to do. And I think a lot of us get to that point where, we hit a place where, okay, we might need to pivot. And so I was in a search of kind of just finding who my true self was, what I wanted to do, what I liked, what I didn't like, things that I kind of wanted to grow out of and overcome. And so it just, for me, set me on a path of discovering my place in God. And through that, I had to kind of look at my surroundings. When we want to grow in any situation, we have to plant seeds of where we want to go. And so for me, that was really just helping me to get better in my confidence, my self-confidence, just know my value and not seek validation in everything else except who I should have been seeking it, and that is with God. So in that time period, I guess I just surrounded myself with people that will help me to grow and encourage me, and also things. So for example, t-shirts, that would help me to kind of just remind myself of my purpose and my value, and the importance and value that I bring to this world. When we surround ourselves with these things, it just reminds us daily. And, it can be from simple everyday items to things like t-shirts or different gifts or books, self-help books. And so, with that, I realized that there was such a diverse selection of products that are inspirational. And that is, faith-based, and then just inspiration with different slogans, etc. And so I just wanted to create an environment of inspiration. So, that was one way that I felt that I was growing. And so I just thought, hey, this would be a great business idea. If this has helped me, it can help many other people. And so Sacred was born, that vision was born, and it just kind of took off. Say about 16, I started to really just get the ideas and get the vision. I wrote it down. I went to my first kind of trade show. And then after that, I said I picked a date. I signed up with BDC and did an entrepreneurship course. And that November of 2017, I launched for the first time. And it was mainly through like vendor markets and conferences and things like that. So yeah, it's all about inspiration. It's all about providing products to help you grow in whatever area that is. If it's your faith, if it's your confidence, if it's, just finding out who you are or reminding yourself who you are. That's what Sacred is. It's about empowering the customer. Yeah.
I love all of that because you elaborated on how you became an entrepreneur, and being an entrepreneur right now is obviously one of the most difficult things. So, and you gave a lot of tips, but what would you say are your top 3 tips to give somebody else that wants to be an entrepreneur, that you live by, that have helped you along the way, like your top 3?
Yeah. Whew. Well, yeah. First of all, I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. So you're absolutely right. And it just shows that sometimes going through our adversities and challenges kind of pushes us into purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what happened to me. I would have never thought. But I would say my top 3 would be, first of all, find out the vision that you want to pursue, right? When you have a business idea, you want to have a plan. And so coming into it, I had the vision, and I'm still going through the plan. And, that kind of, it continues to change and pivot, and you just have to be open and be flexible to where you feel that you're being led to go. So I would say, have your vision and a plan. Start. I would say, do not let fear get in the way, because I know that for me, initially, it was something that was obviously out of my comfort zone. And so anything out of our comfort zone, gives us some type of intrepidation or fear or hesitation. So, we really have to kind of figure out, okay, let me take the first step. And that's where our faith comes in. For me, was allowing God to kind of just show me, okay, hey, I got your back, and take the first step, and I'll help you to move forward. And so definitely have a plan, have a vision, write it down, start. Do not let fear get in the way, because throughout this whole journey, whether it's entrepreneurship or anything that you do, doing something different, any change is going to, again, just make you feel some sort of fear or trepidation, but you cannot allow it to stop you. And instead, let it allow it to fuel you into going into where you want to go. So I would say that. And then I surround yourself with people that will help you to grow. One thing for me in my journey, like I said, I just made sure I had an environment of growth. And that was surrounding myself with people that were entrepreneurs, and that who had a growth mindset. And when you surround yourself with that, you just can't help but kind of want to go in that direction as well, right? So surround yourself with people that will help you, that will guide you, that will mentor you, that will help you to really just continue taking those steps, because, you know, we don't do this on our own. You know, we have a team of friends and support around us. And obviously with our faith as well. You know, for me, it's not about me. It's about doing my purpose and what I feel God has led me to do on this earth. And so that pushes me to do everything that, you know, that makes me afraid, you know, because I know that it's something that I'm meant to do. And I know that God will equip me for the journey. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And because what you just talked about are, we often talk about the positives and our success stories. Like we often see people like when they're at their best, like they've kind of gone through some of the trials and tribulations, and we see them at their best, and then we start comparing ourselves, and then you know, the fear creeps in. And I saw some members of the audience were saying, the fear will cripple you. But we do want to switch gears, and maybe can you share with us some of the hurdles you experienced and that you were able to kind of get over that helped you to kind of realize that you are living and walking in your purpose?
So this pandemic year was definitely a test of my faith. Excuse me. Over this last year, if you don't know, we opened up our store. So initially I started off as a vendor. So it was kind of my passion project, right? You know, I have a 9 to 5, and after hours and on the weekend, I would kind of go to different vendor markets and do it that way. And so last year I switched gears. I had the opportunity to open up my own shop. And so I took that opportunity, as I felt that was something that I had wanted to do. It came a little earlier than I expected. And so with that, obviously it's a whole slew of different things that, you know, I wasn't used to. You know, being a business owner and having a vendor market is one thing. When you have a shop and you have your employees now, that's an entirely different thing. So COVID was a huge hurdle that we had to get through, and we're still going through, because, you know, obviously we've had the restrictions, we've had just a lower demand of people coming out and actually purchasing in shops, right? And so we had to deal with that, you know, and still you got to pay rent, you still got to pay your people, you still got to find the funds to buy the products to bring in. And so it wasn't as plentiful as I would have liked it. As you know, when we first started out in maybe October, November, you know, there was a little bit of momentum. And then as the year went by, you know, restrictions, lockdown, and we didn't have an online presence. So had to try to find a way to kind of allow the customers to get to our product. So, you know, we joined with a online vendor and sort of worked through that. And just basically for me, because I am, you know, I have a 9 to 5, and I'm also a mother, time as well. You know, I know that a lot of us, especially women, are doing 3-4 things at once. We're a mother, we have our day-to-day job, and then we have a business venture. I think, you know, there are statistics that say that women are probably the highest, have the highest percentage of or business ownership, I should say. They're going into business at a high rate, and they're mothers, and they are, you know, have other things. So it's sorry, the sun is kind of coming in now. Okay. Hope you can see me. It's so pretty though. I wish you could. Yeah, it is so gorgeous. So yeah, just finding the time and balance, you know, trying to make sure that, you know, you're doing great at your 9 to 5, you're being a great mom and being present, and then also making sure that, you know, your business is growing as well. So those were some of the things, the challenges that I feel that I go through. And just trying to get the relationships right. As a retail vendor, we want to make sure that we're constantly kind of replenishing our products and bringing in the new, fun, trendy things. And as a small business, sometimes it's hard to connect with those vendors that you might like at first. You know, we've been fortunate to to partner with some great vendors, and I'm still, trying to look into different vendors as well. But it's so many. I have a whole list, but those are some of the top ones that I would say have been, a challenge in this new entrepreneurship journey.
I love that, because like Terri said, we often hear all the glorious stuff that
Oh,
comes.
yeah.
It makes you feel like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And it's almost like a setup, because then once you get moving, you're
Absolutely.
just like, what is all this paperwork? She made it look so easy, and now they get overwhelmed. Whereas if they go into it with an open mindset that there's going to be a lot more hurdles than there are victories, then they can set their mind to push through and jump those hurdles, and all that. But I want to switch gears, because you've been talking about products, and I want to get into what I need. Because I am a last minute shopper. I am Christmas Eve. I am that Christmas Eve running around saying, I know exactly what I want. I know my people, but I want to buy Bermuda, and where can I go? And I do have family. Obviously, we all have family that are either faith-based or they need those faith-based items. I absolutely am looking to come to your store. But you also mentioned T-shirts and other little things. So can you let us know what gifts you have? What's your best-selling product? Do you do gift baskets? Can I just come in and pick everything and you do the rest? Can I just throw everything and be like, catch, this is the one? Let us know like what products you have for us.
Yes, well, all of the above to what you said. But so we have such a diverse kind of selection. So it really depends on who you're buying for and what you like. So, my whole dream is to have like a department store of inspirational products. So right now we have T-shirts and T-shirts for men, women, children. We have home decor items. So we're looking at wall decor, wall decals, different photo products. We have kitchenware, we have different mugs and things that you can use in the kitchen, tea towels, etc. We have books and stationery. So that means your journals, your planners, just self-help books, Bibles. It's just so many. If you come to the store, you know what I mean, because sometimes for me as a purchaser, as a buyer, oh man, you can spend so much money. I want to bring in everything, but I obviously have to budget and balance.
Discipline.
Absolutely. That's it. That's one of the things that I would say about being in entrepreneurship. You definitely have to have discipline. But we do have sacred boxes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this because it's very convenient. We started to do this I think, just before Mother's Day. And it was around the time that we went into lockdown. So, we couldn't have anyone in the stores. It was only kind of drive-by or curbside pickup. So we were like, okay, what is a way that we can get the product to the customer without having them come into the store? So we started to do sacred boxes. And basically what they were was just different pickings from in the store. Like, for example, we might have a mug, we might have a journal with it, with a pen, or a T-shirt, and a bracelet or something like that. And just something that, you can pick up. It's convenient, and you can just go about your way. So that was actually very popular, and we're doing it throughout the year, but we're going to be doing more throughout this Christmas. So we're going to be putting together more boxes this weekend because we're getting more stock come in, and just so that you can just come in and say, okay, I like that, and it'll be at different price points, so we can go with each budget. And then you can just grab and go. So those are awesome. And it's also customizable as well. So if you wanted to go into the store and say, hey, I want to make a sacred box, we have the boxes to supply you, and you can kind of just pick and choose to your liking, and then you can go and pay for it. So those are really popular because, again, they're convenient, and they just have a little bit of everything. So depending on who you're buying for and what they like, you can kind of just customize it to that. Another thing is T-shirts. T-shirts are always popular, probably one of our most popular items in the store because it can appeal to everyone, right? We have faith-based T-shirts, and then we have, motivational T-shirts. So this one says, she believed she could, so she did. It was one of our actual probably biggest sellers. We used to have this in white, and I think gray. And so, it just flew off the shelves. Every time we had it, it just kept flying off the shelves because it can appeal to everyone. Because obviously we do have a large faith-based community in Bermuda. And we also have others, right? And so we want to make sure that we appeal to everyone. When I say inspirational, it can be biblical based and it can be an inspirational quote. It's anything to help you to grow and like I said, in whatever way that is. So, we try to kind of bring in just a diverse selection. So, if you want to give that gift of hope and love and peace, we got you. We got you. Yeah.
I'm excited because it sounds like a one-stop shop for me.
It
Like,
is.
this is so convenient.
That's what I
They have
want.
mugs. Everybody in my family loves mugs, so everybody's getting a mug, everybody's getting a T-shirt.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
good.
excited.
Yeah, just everyday products, right? I mean, even
Yeah.
for me, I like getting gifts that I'm going to use, right? I like practical gifts. So, like when I think about a home decor box or a kitchen box, like we have aprons, we have little mitts that have like a nice little saying on it. You can put it with a bacon spoon if you want that says like bless the chef or something like that. And then you can add to it, right? You can put a little recipe in there. You can put a recipe book or recipe box, but you can be creative with it. And that's why I love the sacred boxes, because you can kind of just grab from all different types of different parts of the shop. Yeah.
I love that. And the audience loves it too. So
Yay.
Miss Brightman says, I swear in every t-shirt.
She does.
Great quality also.
Do you
She
have
does.
shirts in black? Because black's my favorite color.
So yeah, right now we don't, but we have
Okay.
something, and I should be getting a call today. I hope so. But we do have one that's coming in. I think it's one that says blessed, one that says faith. So yeah, they're kind of generic words. We try
That's
to
fine.
keep some generic, and we can't try to stock those colors that everybody loves. Black is obviously one of them. I have so many black t-shirts too. I try to come out of my comfort zone a little bit, but only
I
made
try
it to
to
gray.
I try to as well, but then I go to lunch and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is why I wear black.
I love black. It just goes with everything. You can put
It
your
does.
pop of color with it. If you want to wear color, you can just put a pop of color, your purse, or just whatever. Yeah, it's versatile, I should say. Yeah.
Absolutely is. And so we're actually getting ready to wrap up, audience. If you have any
Okay.
other comments or questions for Arin, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Earlier, Arin, you mentioned, how the pandemic has tested a lot of people's faith, and you specifically
Yeah.
talked about how it tested your faith. So can you maybe share how
Yes.
you've been able to keep the faith strong
Mhm.
during these hard times? Because a lot of people probably have wavered or kind of felt like, they've kind of felt dawn. So can you just share some of the
Yeah.
ways you were able to keep your faith during this time?
Oh goodness, yeah. It's been tough for many of us, right? If it wasn't loss, it was, it's just so many, it hits so many different aspects. For me, my faith, obviously, number one, because I realized that, my strength it's not from me, and so I lean onto God so much because he literally is my strength, and he allows me to walk through every day knowing that there is better to come. The best is yet to come. Other than that, it's surrounding yourself with people, again, that are gonna empower you, right? Empower you, who are sometimes going through the same thing. And prayer and the people that you surround yourself with are very instrumental in helping to encourage you on those days when you just feel like you don't have it. I've had those days, and thankfully I have friends that are able to speak into me and show me, hey, you got this. The support helps, and so that's very, very, very important. And just getting up and remembering, for me, like, and I'm going to use one of my products as an example. I have a wall. As soon as I wake up, I see it. And it says, with God, all things are possible. And so for me, every day, even when I have a bad day, I wake up, and that inspires me, right? It inspires me to, hey, I need to get down and pray. I don't feel great, or let me read my devotional. Let me journal this out. It just reminds me. It's that extra reminder. And so that's why I love Sacred products, because they're everyday products that you can see. A mug that you take to work, it reminds you. I just have so many things around my house that reminds me when I'm having a bad day, like, hey, you got this, sis. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. With God, all things are possible. And so for you have to know yourself, right? When you get in those times when you feel like you're just depleted, you feel depressed, for you, if you know that you need to change what you're listening to, change what you're watching, then do it. find the ways that help yourself, and then make sure you do more of that. So for me, I know that I can dig myself into a hole if I allow myself to stay in a certain emotion. And so I have to be very cognizant of, stopping that right at at where it starts, And so with that, it's like I say, a prayer. I go to church. I surround myself with people who are going to encourage me. And I just constantly put myself in an environment where I can be encouraged and inspired. Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. And I'm pretty sure the audience, I saw some audience members were commenting saying that they agree with pretty much everything that you said. And as we wrap up, Arin, so we've had your contact information on the screen throughout the show, but we had a question on where is the store located. So can you just maybe let them know where on the island it is and how they can get to it real quick as we wrap up?
Sure. So we are right in Hamilton. So you can enter from a couple of different ways. We're in the Bermudiana Arcade. If you're coming from the Queen Street side, I should say, you can go up the stairs by Pick-a-Pet. We're right on that second floor, right at the back. Or if you're coming up by Mystique's, you can go up those steps and we're right in the corner to your left. And also you can enter from the other side from Parlerville parking lot, coming through Fridays. You go down that set of stairs and we're right there in the corner. Our hours this week are 11 to 5:30. Tomorrow we're going to be open. Tonight actually, it was just Friday. We're going to be open to 7 p.m. And then Saturday we're going to be open from 10 to 6. So yeah, I hope that it's pretty easy to find, but you do have to kind of know where to go. But we're right in the middle of Hamilton.
That is perfect.
Saying that you're up by Choices Menswear, or
literally right next door. Okay. Yeah, right next door. Yeah.
I know exactly where you are now.
Yes, right there. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, once again, Arin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We enjoyed this conversation.
Yes, I enjoyed it as well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Make sure you have a great day.
Yes, you as well. Have a good day, everybody.
Talk soon.
Bye.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Jacky and I will be back to hear your thoughts on today's conversation with Arin Weller, as well as get you ready for our Feel Good Vibe of the day, which is Joke Time with Jacky. So make sure you do not go anywhere, because Jacky and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. As we are getting ready to wind down today's show, let us know in the comments what you thought of our conversation with Arin Weller. I see Kelly Smith says that Arin is awesome. We totally agree. Absolutely agree. Like Jacky and I were just talking backstage, it flew by. The conversation flew by, and I was like, "Oh man, it's like 7:30. It's time to wrap up." Like, here's the last.
Like, gosh, I have to stick to the questions because you don't have enough time. I was just like, all right. I was taking notes. I'm like, cool. So take that leap of faith. Be intentional with your circle and be disciplined.
Be disciplined is definitely a big pro tip, and I'm grateful that she shared that with us, because even like we talked about her success, and just knowing that there are things that she went through that you may not have seen it, but there are real struggles that people go through, and just because you see them smiling on the outside doesn't mean that they haven't had to overcome something on in the inside. And so Karen Edwards Simmons says, great talk with Arin Weller. Absolutely. We're grateful that you guys enjoyed the conversation. Continue to let us know in the comments what you thought of it as Jacky gets ready to give us the Jacky jokes. So if this is the first time you're joining us, this is the segment of the show where Jacky finds the corniest jokes you can find on the internet, and I do my very best to try to guess the corniest answer to it. And if all else fails, we just have a great laugh together. So let's go, Jack. I'm ready. It's Friday. These are going to be the best jokes of the week.
Okay. Sorry, I'm already.
She's already laughing. See, when she already laughs, it's up on the joke.
Listen. It's hot. It's hot. What did one pan say to the other pan?
Bold point? I don't know.
You're incredible.
You're incredible. Incredible.
What did one eye say to the other eye?
I can't see you.
You can't see me? Sorry. I was like, oh no, my internet's going down. No, between me and you, something smells.
The fact that she thought my answer was literal, and I'm like, no, I'm answering your joke. Like, I can't see you.
Oh no, can you see me now?
That's the joke. Bitty pop.
What do you call a small parent?
A small parent, a mini parent, a mini.
Close. Minimum.
Minimum. Minimum. Hilarious. The audience loves the jokes again today, as always. I love Jackie shows. Like, I don't know about y'all. Like, someone actually sent me a corny joke last night, and I should have asked her to screenshot a second send it to Jackie. Say it? Because yes, I could say it because it's really hilarious. So next week I'm gonna bring it in. Like I'm gonna do a joke next week, guys. It's gonna be like how we wrap up the year.
Yes.
And as always, Jackie and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the day has you ready to make it a great one. And thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, which is supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we trust we'll see you next week, which is actually going to be a short week, but we're going to have some more Feel Good conversations for you. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.